Hi, it's Caitlin, and I'm here with 3 new releases from Glisten Glow. I've got the new Boho Vibes collection, which is currently available in the Glisten Glow shop. And I also have a new trio celebrating Glisten Glow's 13th anniversary, which will be launching on March 18th. That anniversary or birthday trio will be launching alongside the new Dockside at Dawn creams, which are another set of beautiful, dusty sort of pastel creams. So if what I just said was confusing, because I think I confused myself, I'll just include everything down in the description. But essentially, the Boho Vibes are available now, and everything else will be launching on March 18th at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time in the Glisten Glow shop. I'm also swatching these polishes and using the Glisten Glow Top Coat, which is a fantastic top coat. Pick it up if you're planning on buying anything you see in my video today. And let's just get into the nail polish. Let's start with the Boho Vibes collection, which is currently available. The first polish I'm showing off is Free Spirit, and this one is described as a dusty olive green cream polish. And what you will probably notice is that the formula is definitely on that jelly cream hybrid, so a crelly. It's really easy to work with, and the benefit of that formula is that it self-levels beautifully. This color is really unique. It's totally different than anything I have in my collection. So it is described as a dusty olive green, but it's definitely got quite a bit of brown tones to it, which makes it just a really gorgeous neutral. And this one was good for me in 2 coats. As you can see, it covered really well, and I think it'll cover well for most people in 2. And of course, I'm using the Glisten Glow Top Coat, which works fantastically with all of their polishes and any polishes, really. I have a huge refill bottle of this because I love it so much, and that's something I purchased myself. As you can see, the top coat really does plump this up, and it makes it for a really beautiful, juicy, sort of squishy cream finish. So here it is in 2 coats plus top coat, and it's just a really fun olive green. Next up, we have Wild Soul, and this one is described as a rose mauve cream polish. I think Americans pronounce it mauve, but Canadians pronounce it mauve. So I think there are other Canadians that pronounce it mauve too, so I'm probably gonna get screamed at in the comments, but pronounce it however you want. This one is also sort of that crelly cream combo finish, which is just fantastic. I think that this covered beautifully in 1 coat. It's definitely one of those polishes that dries down to a bit of a different color than when it's wet. It dries down a bit more pink, I think. And I don't think anyone would need more than 2 coats for this because it does cover so evenly, and it has a fantastic formula. It even dries down quite shiny on its own, as you can see, without top coat. But of course, the top coat plumps it up. It's going to make your manicure last a lot longer, and who doesn't want that when it comes to nail polish, especially creams? And here it is in 2 coats plus top coat. It's so glossy and shiny with the Glisten Glow Top Coat, and it covered fantastic in just 2 coats of nail polish. Moving along, we have Earth Angel, and this one is described as a dusty rosewood cream polish. I've never heard of rosewood as a shade before, but if this is how it looks, then I like it a lot. This one, again, same crelly-ish cream formula, which is my preferred cream formula. I think it makes for a shinier finish, and smoother application than a heavier cream. And this one has really good coverage as well on the first coat, but I will recommend 2 coats for sure. And the note here from Glisten Glow is that these polishes water marble and stamp as well. If you are into either one of those nail art activities, I can't do either for the life of me. So if you do, then good for you, and good for you if you want to buy these polishes because you can use them in a whole bunch of different ways. So this covered really beautifully in 2 coats, as you can see. And of course, top coat is always a good idea. It just adds the shine, and the Glisten Glow Top Coat for me does a really good job with making my manicure last, and it does stay quite shiny for at least the first 2 to 3 days of my manicure. But if I'm using a lot of hand sanitizer or other things, it will dull quicker, but it lasts really well for me. And last but not least, from the Boho Vibes collection, we have Catch Your Dreams. And this one is a medium dusty cornflower blue cream polish. And this one, again, has a fantastic formula. It's also just a really beautiful shade of blue. It's interesting that it's described as a cornflower blue because it really, to me, looks more like a deepened dusty teal. It's accurate for how it looks on my skin tone and how it looked when I applied it in this video, so that gives you probably a good sense of how it's going to look. And as you can see, this one covered really nicely in 1 coat, but of course 2 gives it totally opaque coverage. And the other thing I will note about this 4-piece collection is that it is limited edition, so once whatever is on the website is sold out, it won't be coming back. And this one looks incredibly beautiful in my opinion with the glossy top coat. I really like this color. I think I do have a thing for deep dusty shades. They just sort of have a nice timeless elegance to them. So here it is in 2 coats plus top coat. And next we will take a look at the next 4-piece collection, which is the Dockside at Dawn collection. And the first one I'm showing you is called Sunrise Sailfest, and this one is described as a light peach cream. So this one is less jelly-ish than the previous polishes, but that would make sense because it is a light color that probably has some white in it. But as you can see, for such a light peach color, it covers really, really well on that first coat. And I was super impressed with the coverage in this one. So it's definitely a more yellow beige leaning peach than a pinky peach. And I think it's really bright, and it's one of those colors that I imagine will look great in the summer and just sort of have that bleached neon kind of effect to it. So after I built it up in 2 coats, you can see it's got incredibly good coverage. Like, would never get that with any other polish. I love when a light color covers really easily and beautifully like this. And of course, top coat will make it even shinier. So use a good glossy top coat, and this one will just be absolutely gorgeous. It's a really good option if you like sort of a white nail, but you want something a little different. So here it is in 2 coats plus top coat. Next up is You Float My Boat, and this one is a bright pistachio green. Another beautiful sort of baby bleached neon. I don't know if that makes any sense, but it's a pastel, but it's really bright, and that's what I love about this polish and the previous one, they just are so bright and light and pretty, and with the really great formula that Glisten Glow has, they cover really, really well, which makes application a breeze. And also you only need 2 coats, which is what I want with a cream. There's nothing more frustrating when you apply a cream and even after the second coat it's not fully covered and then you have to go in for a third. It just starts getting thick, which I absolutely hate personally. This one obviously will be good in 2 coats, and I will recommend Top Coat. It does dry down quite glossy, as you can see here, but Top Coat helps with the longevity. And in terms of longevity with Glisten Glow's Top Coat and their creams, I find I get 4 to 5 days before I get any sort of tip wear. I generally don't get chips, but I might get a bit of tip wear just because I use my hands a lot, but it stays pretty shiny and it looks great. This one is called Worry Less, Paddle More, and this one is described as a dusty purple with gray undertones, which is a really interesting description because I mostly see gray with this one, but maybe I see more of a gray with purple undertones. Everybody's different, but it is a gorgeous color. It seems very classic and elegant, and I know a lot of people who don't do the flashy like flakes or shimmers and hollows, and this seems to be a popular choice for people who get their nails done at salons and pick creams. It's just something I've noticed out in the wild. So this one again has a fantastic formula. It's a cream, but I would say it's slightly jellyish in the way it applies and appears, and as you can see, it covers totally on that second coat. And while it does dry down quite shiny, I will still recommend Top Coat. And just like the previous Boho Vibes collection, this one is also limited edition, and it's also noted here that the polish is water marble as well as stamp. So here it is in 2 coats plus Top Coat, and I really like the shade of gray. I think it's really pretty. Last but not least, from the Dockside at Dawn collection, we have Lake Breeze Puts Me at Ease. And this one is a dusty teal blue cream polish, which is a really gorgeous color. It definitely makes me think about a lake and a cottage. It just has this dusty sort of laid back vibe to it, and it applies so well. Once again, no surprise there. It has an amazing formula with great coverage on the first coat, but I will recommend 2 just to deepen it and obviously even everything out. This one is a really pretty and soft kind of teal. It just works so well with the collection. I think Jill did a really good job of curating colors that suit the theme and are a great transition into spring. So there it is in 2 coats, and now I'll apply the Top Coat as you've seen me do throughout this entire video, and it just looks so juicy and plumped up when you apply the Top Coat, which is what I want when I'm wearing a cream. I don't have the patience for gel nail polish, but I've always loved how glossy gel creams look, and this Top Coat does a great job of mimicking that effect. And now we're moving away from the creams and into the 13th anniversary trio, which I will note up front is extremely limited. So they were made in pretty small batches. So if you like what you see, then get on the shop on March 18th and order as soon as you can. So this first polish is called Welcome to the Teens, and this one is described as a black jelly polish loaded with ultra chrome chameleon flakes that shift from green to aqua to blue to purple. As you can see, this has pretty good coverage on that first coat, but it just wasn't totally even, and obviously I want that black base to be much darker, so a second coat will do the trick. But if you felt like it, you could probably layer all of the polishes in the Anniversary Trio over a black, and that would be a good way to preserve your polish if you wanted, or if you just prefer that look. So as you can see, after 2 coats of polish, it's very opaque and there is a bit of texture from the flakes, but these polishes are not difficult to remove and they don't have any texture after you apply the Glisten Glow Top Coat, so there's no need for 2 layers of top coat or a glitter grabber. It smooths out completely with regular top coat, and as you can see, this is really beautiful and glossy, and I wanted to show off how shifty this is so you can really see that aqua and blue shift to it depending on how you catch your nails in the light. So this one's really entertaining and very shifty. Next up is 13 Times Around the Sun, and this one is a black jelly polish loaded with ultra chrome chameleon flakes as well. These ones shift from purple to gold to green to yellow. As you can see, this one has really even and beautiful coverage on that first coat. It's going to be a 2-coater just like the previous one. This whole collection has the same formula, which just is a dream to work with. And I particularly love the shift of these flakes. Hopefully you can sort of see I see like a bit of pink in amongst the purple. It just looks really good. And after 2 coats, it's just surprisingly opaque and covers so well. And of course, I'm going in with my Glisten Glow Top Coat just to plump it up and smooth everything out so you get this really gorgeous lacquered sheen on your polish, which is always what I want when I paint my nails. And this one is just really fun. I also sort of like the black with the 13 Anniversary Trio because it's sort of like an, moody teenager, which resonates with me. I'm sure 13-year-old Caitlin would have loved this polish. And as you can see, this is really shifty depending on what angle you catch it in. And last but not least, in the Anniversary Trio, we have Established in 2010, which is obviously when Glisten Glow was started. And this one is a black jelly polish once again with flakes that shift from blue to purple to red to orange. This base somehow managed to look a little more purple than the other ones, but when it builds up, it could just be the way the flakes look on that first coat. It definitely looks black like the other ones after you apply that second coat, but it was just sort of an interesting observation. I don't know if it was a trick of the eye or the way the flakes interact with the base. I don't know, but it looks great once you build it up in 2 coats. Those flakes are so plentiful, and I just really love black nail polish, so I really, really love this trio. And here it is with the top coat. You can just see how much more plump it looks. And it's just a really beautiful polish. If you like blues, then you'll probably love this one because it has like a really sapphire-y quality to it, which I love anything that looks like a gemstone. And as you can see here with the light behind me, you can definitely get that purple shift to the flakes, and the red and orange is there. I just didn't catch it very well. So in terms of my favorites from the Boho Vibes collection, I really like Wild Soul. I'm kind of a sucker for colors like that. I don't know if that's a specific genre of color, but I like it. It feels very vintage, but also somehow modern. And from the Dockside at Dawn collection, I really like Sunrise Sailfest. I just think it's a really pretty peachy color and it works really nicely on my skin tone in that it's still really bright, even though it's a light colored polish. And I just think that the 13th anniversary trio is really fun. I just love Flakes, I love black nail polish, and you can't go wrong with any of them. So let me know in the comments if you're planning on picking anything up. Let me know if you like seeing me swatch creams. I know I usually do very different non-cream polishes, so I'm always curious what you like to see, and wish Glisten Glow and Jill a happy 13th anniversary. That's a huge accomplishment for a brand. Apparently, I'm also losing my voice. I guess that's because I film too many intros and I don't usually talk this much. So have a great day wherever you are, and hopefully I will see you in my next video. Bye!